Hi Gemini, happy December. This is your general reading for the month of December 2018. Please keep in mind it is general, so it may not resonate entirely with everyone. You can also check out my videos for your sun, moon, and rising signs. A couple disclaimers. I do burp sometimes. I'm just channeling, and I also swear. So I've already got one card fall out. Let's see what's going on with you guys for the month of December 2018. And I'm reading with the Illuminated Tarot, if you're curious. This is so interesting. Everyone is going through very similar themes this month. I also posted a general video for the month of December, and I have that link in the description box below. But it's also not a surprise. You know, collectively, we're all more connected than we would like to think we are. Okay, so, Gemini. Right now, some of you could be in a new relationship. This is the Two of Cups. It's also the card for Sagittarius, Temperance. So I don't know if you have a new love with the Sagittarius. I also feel like this makes sense for you guys because this could be about combining the two different aspects of yourself. Your two different personalities, if you will. Because the Temperance card is usually about finding an internal emotional balance, and the Two of Cups, which is what it also relates to, is about having a symbiotic relationship. And I feel like it's also about having a symbiotic relationship with yourself. So it could be about combining different energies and elements in yourself, or dealing with Sagittarius, or a new relationship. But either way, you've got some good news coming with the Sun here and the Nine of Wands. This is usually about success, recognition, notoriety, getting some acclaim for what you've accomplished. So you could be getting like a raise or promotion this year, or into the year, some of you. Sometimes this card, Nine of Wands, can mean feeling defensive. I feel for some of you, though, that it's a culmination. It's good news. Yeah, things are moving forward. Because what's crowning you at the moment, sort of a theme that's going on, is the Three of Wands. This is about moving through a portal, moving something forward, moving where you want to go. And yeah, I'm just here being ready for that. And it could be that you're dealing with an earth sign, or I just feel like this has also been coming up a lot, and I feel like everyone's really connecting to their own sort of earth mother energy. And it's about seeing beauty in your life. For some of you, this could also be coming back into contact with your own divine feminine with Venus. It's still in shadow, but it's coming out of it, and it's out of retrograde finally in December. But it's still in shadow until, I believe, December 24th. And so moving through a portal, getting in touch with your feminine side, there's some transformation going on there with the Death card here. It could also be that you're going within and doing some work. Let's see. What is that all leading toward? Living a non-traditional life, or moving out of a mindset of poverty, or both, however that applies to you. But with the Hierophant in reverse, it usually means you've decided you're not going to take a traditional path. And you've decided that you want to move forward in a way that makes sense to you, that suits you. And maybe not everyone gets that, but that's fine. I hate to say it, but what I'm hearing is, in a way, you're also used to that. You're probably used to a certain extent that no one fully gets you anyway. You know, Gemini it's an interesting sign. You guys are very unique. I have Gemini in my chart, so I understand. You know, and I think I feel like it's marrying two different aspects of yourself. You don't have to fully choose one or the other. You can choose both in a way that makes sense for you. That's really the theme of Temperance, but I feel like also being unconventional and untraditional with that in a way that you're comfortable with. And you don't necessarily have to justify that. It's just who you are. So something that is also sort of the base of what you're going through is the Jack of Pentacles here. So this is usually about being a student, learning something new. I feel like it's something that you're excited to focus on and something where you're really interested and energetic about putting in the effort and the work to build the methodical base toward where you want to go. And it could be that maybe some of you were thinking about ditching this, but you decided not to leave it behind because you got the Six of Swords in reverse here, which is usually about leaving something behind, moving forward. But I feel like you don't want to. You want to stay and do the work. You figured, and it's not like, oh, I guess I'll stay. It's more like, no, I don't want to run away. I don't want to do that. And some of you may be working through a mindset of poverty or lack, maybe thinking about building a base and what it is that you really want moving forward. But what I'm hearing, especially with this little guy right here, is stop seeing all that you don't have. Someone's spirit guide is like, be grateful, damn it. Be grateful for what you do have. You have more than you think. And you have enough for some of you. Someone's spirit guide is like, and for some of you, you're too much. So I think it's also that whatever it is, remembering that you have a lot of power in this situation. You know, you've got the King of Wands and the Magician here. So this is really about being able to make any outcome that you want moving forward. And also harnessing your fire energy, your own firepower, your creative force, your creative energy to move things forward and get the outcome that you want. So I feel like this is something to keep in mind while you're still in the student energy, is that you can build that you have that ability to move things forward in your life with the power of a lion. So you've also got the King of Cups. This is another big theme that's coming up. So the King of Cups is about sort of being emotionally mature, but I feel like also incorporating other aspects of yourself. So in this, like, I don't know if you guys are going through a sort of identity crisis, but if you are, this could also be incorporating water that is in your chart. So if you haven't done it, I recommend looking up your astrological chart, because it is sort of a key to understanding yourself. I personally like going to astrostyle.com, but you know, you can also Google it and just see what comes up. It doesn't really matter, honestly. But I feel like if there is an emotional side, I feel like also for some of you, this is about sort of understanding your own wild side. I'm hearing taming, but it doesn't feel like that. It feels like understanding it, comprehending it, knowing what to do with it, because the octopus arms are standing out to me. So I think it's really like, how do you utilize that? And this is the image that's coming to mind. If you're Davy Jones, how do you harness the Kraken? That sounded like an infomercial. So it's really, you know, the wild sea creatures in your life. What do you do with them? How do you harness them? How do you make them work with you? And I think that could also come to aspects of your personality. It also looks like maybe there's some kind of... Oh, I know what this is. So this is Judgment, but it's also the Ten of Swords in reverse. So with that, I often see it as letting something from the past go. So since you guys have this unconventional, untraditional energy here, I feel like part of it is accepting that you have a wild side and recognizing that's okay. It's all in what you do with it. You know, are you using it to harm other people, or are you using it to kind of build up your own ferocity, your own fierce energy to see what you can harness and use? But you're using your willpower. You're balancing these aspects of yourself. You're understanding yourself more. So I feel like this is actually something that can be very freeing and make a lot of you harness your own independence. You're really understanding yourselves. You're understanding these aspects of your personality, and you're helping that move you forward, because it feels like a lot of us there's a lot of cord cutting happening in December. There's a lot of changes that are happening before the new year. So I feel like part of this, though, is like you guys are having your own rewilding in a way. You're kind of discovering the sort of wild, uncontrollable aspects of yourself, but figuring out how to control them at the same time. And So where you are now, and this could be coming out of that, is still like you have some options, but they're not really options that you want. And so I almost feel like it's that you're presented with these choices and you walk away to choose something else entirely. And it's a choice that you've been wanting to make for a while. You just have felt like you needed permission, is what I'm hearing. And it could be because those choices are related to heartbreak. Those choices are related to the thing that's caused spilled milk in your life. The thing that's made you feel sad, alone, depressed, rejected, dejected. Like you're all alone and nobody loves you. If you're all alone and nobody loves you, then by God, explore your wild side. That's what I'm hearing. Because you don't have to feel defensive anymore. You're not fighting over scarce resources. You can have, the universe is abundant, the world is abundant, you can have whatever you want. You know, you don't have to live in this mindset of poverty or lack. You don't have to fight over resources. You know, you can go upriver and find your own damn tree. And you don't have to fight with anyone over it. You can just simply be there and exist on your own independently. But it looks like you'll be starting a new journey. So I feel like you're optimistic about whatever this is. But moving on from those choices that felt like they weren't real choices. So this is the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune in reverse, which means that whatever you're going through now is sort of your dark night of the soul. You're going through the worst of it this month, and things will start to get better, which makes sense. Winter solstice, darkest and coldest time of the year. The days are their shortest, and then they start to get longer. So it's a reminder too, the light is returning, you know, and on December 21st, you might want to look up some rituals or some of the customs for Yule and for the winter solstice, because it might help you a little bit, even if it's just lighting candles or making sure you put plenty of lights in your room or having greenery, abundance, all those things around you, you know, having that light and life around you in the darkest and coldest time of the year to remind yourself you are going to come out of it alive. At some point, winter is going to be over. Yes, winter is coming, but so is spring, because you've got this exchange of gifts coming with the Six of Pentacles. This is also about somebody being generous and kind. It's about giving and receiving and also sharing. And so I feel like it's a reminder that whenever resources are scarce, there's always, I'm hearing the word abundant. So it's really trying not to see things from a point of scarcity, but rather seeing them from a point of abundance. That there is always enough. The universe will provide. The universe will take care of you. And whether it's the universe for you, or God, or Allah, or whoever it is that you are talking to, whoever is your higher power, you know, it's recognizing that you are being looked after, you are being cared for, and you are loved. You know, that there is divine love coming to you from the universe, always. And you can always tap into it. And it looks like some of you might even be retreating a little bit in order to do that, or just because you need to, because this card is also the Hermit. So it feels like you might be taking some time alone inward for introspection, which, you know, it's winter. It's a time period where that makes sense. So I would say to do that as you need it. Don't be a total antisocial person, because you do need those interactions, I feel. You know, you guys are an air sign. You're very dynamic. You like ideas. So, and you need conversations, especially the extroverts of you. So I feel like, you know, go inward when you need it, but go outward when you need it too. It's a give and take. But as far as the outcome goes, you've got some good news coming here. You've got the Seven of Pentacles, which is about building for the future that you want, and then the Sun, which is about recognition and success. And I realize you got them. You can't get the Sun twice. But, you know, you've got good things coming to you. And you've got the Jack of Cups, which is also good news emotionally coming. And it could also be that, yeah, if you feel like there's something where you have had trouble making a decision, you'll be coming out of that period. You'll be moving forward into realizing what you want. because it's the Two of Swords. It's often about not being sure, not having trouble making a decision, but it's in reverse. So you'll be making the decision, you'll be moving forward. And then you'll have some emotional abundance. You know, you have the Ace of Cups here. So you have something that's going to give you that emotional satisfaction and feelings of security. And I feel like this really relates back to the King of Cups. So it's kind of going through your own wild soul, I'm hearing, and figuring out how to tame the parts that need to be tamed and letting the wild parts run free or swim free. You know, so it's about figuring out how to kind of bridge the two in a way that you feel comfortable with and finding your own way forward. I really feel like this relates back to the Two of Cups and the Temperance card of finding what it is that you, in a way, who you really are. This is a very soul-searching month for you guys. So, that is your reading for the month. I hope that you guys have a wonderful December, and I will see you again next month.